Once again, Review Energy is in Romania doing the coverage of this huge event, the second edition of Energyear Eastern Europe 2025. And of course, we are talking about energy transition and renewable energy, and we need to talk with the most important companies. And today, I have the pleasure to say hello to Ciprian Bodiu. He is the Chief Sales Officer at Parapet. Ciprian, welcome to our microphones for the first time.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to be here. Energyear was a very good starting point for us. We've been doing, coming to your events since 2 years ago, and we've met a lot of clients and a lot of suppliers. You're doing an incredible job, and thank you very much for that. Not only here in Romania, but all over Europe.
Yeah, that's true. And we are also happy to have you here with us. And I want to start talking about the whole panorama that they were talking in the initial panels. They were talking about challenges and opportunities, but the perspective of your company, how you see it. What are those things that are shaping the landscape for renewable energy here in Romania and Eastern Europe?
Well, it's a very, very interesting, very interesting question. The fact is that, from my point of view, and I know that I'm speaking, in the name of most of my colleagues, it's been a roller coaster. And if not only because of the fact that the technology is evolving so fast and things are changing and there's a lack of people, but also because of the pace that we are building. Like 3 years ago, the market started on the utility scale, started to grow, but right now it's booming. And for sometimes, 80% of the utility scale projects in Romania come from two countries. The investors come from two countries. Now they come from all over Europe. So the market it's increasing, and it's not only getting diversified. It's not only in PV, but also in wind, and also the best projects started to grow, and they're not walking right now. Everything is flying. On Monday, Romania had the record in energy production in PV, 1,866 megawatts, which is amazing, which is good. But the concern that we have as a constructor is that, are we going to keep up like this for how long? And what's happening? Because we are hiring and having a lot of people, and we are training them and trying to keep them in the in the team, and we are offering them a scope. Not only a job and a salary, but a scope to live their life. And we are hoping that the market will evolve in such a way in which we can adapt for the years to come. Not to do this, to have this pacing for the next 2 or 3 years and then stop like it was in the first round. It won't be such a big problem from us because of the fact that we are not working only here in Romania, but we are working all over Europe. We have offices in Germany, in Nuremberg, and we have offices in Italy. We've just opened the Italian market, in which we've already signed contract, and we've done pull-out tests and doing light EPC construction. So, as my colleague Paul was saying, the European market is a sinusoid. Some countries are falling, others are rising, and stuff like that. And hopefully, it will be like this in the years to come. But for the moment, the whole European market is pacing at a pace that it's flying. They're not running.
Yeah, and you just say something very important, and is not only achieve some goals, but also maintain it in the time. And going deep, Ciprian, into the company, I want to talk about the initiatives that the company has to impact this market here in terms, for example, of technology, regulation for the energy sector.
Well, the thing that we're trying to do, beside the fact that we're trying to train our people to develop the technical competencies, regarding this market, we are trying to innovate, and my colleagues from the research and development department are doing an amazing job. For example, right now we have machineries that ram by themselves. I mean, if 2 years ago we need 7 guys to operate a ramming machine, now there's only 2. We're trying to adapt to the situations, train the guys, because the most important thing in a business are the guys that you're doing the business with, right? We're trying to have an organic development, okay, not to take projects, not to go over, not to take more that we can chew, to bite more that we can chew.
Yes. And this edition of Energyear is the second one, but it's very important, and all the people is saying that it's growing. So how you see it from the perspective of the company, and how you think it's important to contribute this dialogue and this networking for the Romania as and for all the region in Europe?
Well, I just want to be honest. When you come to this kind of events, you're not actually doing business. You're connecting with people, because at the end of the day, connection is one of the most important things. I've never. I'm the head of sales. I have never given an offer and the client accepted before we had this connection. Before we had some meetings, and having these fairs and these events, it's very helpful, because they put us in contact with both suppliers that we really need, and also the clients. Moreover, we are learning a lot of interesting things, from the investors, and we can have an idea on where the market is, growing. Because at the end of the day, the guys that have a lot of money, I'm pretty sure that they have earned that money by doing the right thing, and I'm also sure that they are right now doing the right thing.
Yes, you're right. And only for close the interview, that is very interesting, I want you to tell us about the plans for the company. For example, let's talk about the 2025, but also starting 2026. What are you preparing to? How are you preparing to impact the market, and what initiatives you have?
Well, as I was telling you earlier, this year we have opened the Italian market, opening an office there. So this is checked. It's a very important. It was a very important pace for us. We are working on projects here in Romania and in Germany and in Italy that combine are more than 500 megawatts in solar and PV, and also BESS. As in development, we have a lot. We have some projects. I wouldn't say a lot, but we have some projects that we are very interested in BESS here in Romania and in Germany and in Italy. And hopefully by next year, as a combined market, we will go over 1 gigawatt in construction, and more than half of that should be EPC, or at least light EPC.
Great. Well, Ciprian, thank you so much for sharing with us all your knowledge and your experience, and the company experience too, in our microphones and cameras. I hope to see you in more editions of Energyear here in Romania.
Well, definitely. Not only here in Romania, but we're definitely gonna go to other countries. It was a real pleasure, meeting you, and thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.